Hey everyone, it's the power within here. So happy to see you all again in my video. I think that at this age, both you and I are really interested in love. Honestly, I'm still young, so I don't have much experience in love. Love is unpredictable, everyone loves in their own way, has their own personality, and makes their own choices. So if someone says there's a universal formula for love that guarantees happiness for everyone, I'd say that's pretty unrealistic. If such a formula existed, the world wouldn't have so much heartbreak. That's why today's episode will be based on my limited experiences in love, as well as things I've observed, learned, and read in books or seen in online videos. I hope this will be helpful to you. I have a feeling this podcast episode will be quite long because talking about love always leads to long conversations. So, I'll split this episode into 2 parts. Now, let's dive into part 1. Recently, I moved out and started living on my own. I mentioned this in a previous episode. Most of the time, I'm fine, but whenever there's a big change in my life, moving to a new place, switching jobs, or going through some major event, those moments can feel pretty lonely. It's not that my life is falling apart or that I want someone to come and fix my problems. I just wish I had someone to share my journey with. The other day, I was talking to my friend Ka, and I told her, "Hey, I really want a boyfriend." I kept complaining about how much I wanted to be in a relationship. And then Ka asked me, "Do you think you're actually ready for one?" That question really got me thinking. Right now, I work from home as a freelancer. Freelancing is interesting because it's both busy and free at the same time. Some weeks, I'm drowning in work. Other weeks, I have nothing to do and just waste time. So my schedule is pretty unpredictable. And if I had a boyfriend right now, it would be hard to manage my time for a relationship. The thing about love is that it requires commitment, time, and effort. Unlike friendships, where you can go weeks or even months without seeing each other, a romantic relationship needs consistency. Unless it's long distance, if a couple living in the same city goes an entire month without meeting up, that's a real SOS situation. I realized that if I were in a relationship now, I wouldn't be able to give it the time and energy it needs. Right now, my schedule is all over the place. I might be free when my boyfriend is busy, and he might be free when I'm drowning in work. I guess that's why my friend Ka told me, "Right now, I think you're prioritizing work over love." And she's right. It's not that I'm some career-obsessed Miss Independent type. It's just that, at this stage of my life, I want to focus on work first. I think as young people, we all have different priorities at different points in life. For me, work is the priority right now. The other day, I saw a post on Facebook that said, "Girls always say they want a boyfriend, but when someone flirts with them, they don't like them back." Let me translate Girl Dictionary for you. When a girl says, "I want a boyfriend," what she really means is that she wants to find the right person. Someone she genuinely likes, who also likes her back. Someone worth getting to know, and if things go well, then maybe they can start a relationship. It does not mean she'll just date anyone who asks her out. Love takes time. You have to connect, adjust, and find the right match. I think there are 2 types of love. Love at first sight, when you meet someone and instantly know you like them. You feel an overwhelming attraction, like, "I have to be with this person." It's immediate, intense, and undeniable. Love that grows over time, when you spend time with someone, get to know them, and slowly start liking them more and more. At first, it's just admiration. Then, over time, that admiration deepens into love. Personally, I prefer the second type. I love the phase before confessing feelings. When 2 people are getting to know each other, spending time together, sitting by a lake, watching the sunlight filter through the trees, feeling the wind on their skin. No words are needed because no words can capture the moment. At that time, love hasn't been spoken yet, but deep down, you know, I'm going to fall for this person. It's not sudden, but slow and steady. And this time, you know, there's no escaping it. This is real love. I really love that phase right before confessing love, the time when both sides are getting to know each other. Those afternoons sitting by the lake together, watching sunlight filter through the leaves, and gazing at the gentle ripples on the water. That's the moment when you sit next to each other without saying a word because you know that words would be unnecessary. Just being there, feeling every passing second, while something quietly takes root inside. If I were to say I love you now, it would be too soon. It still needs more time. But deep down, I already know, I will love this person. I know I won't fall in love instantly, but I will slowly step into it. And this time, I won't be able to escape. This time, I've truly stumbled into love. Don't you think life moves in cycles? Sometimes, everything goes smoothly, work, relationships, everything feels effortless. Other times, life is just, okay, nothing too exciting or too bad. But then, there are phases when everything seems to fall apart. No matter what you do, it doesn't work out. It feels like the whole world is against you. And I think that's when we crave love the most. When life gets tough, we just want someone to be there, to share our burdens. I consider myself a strong person. I can be okay without a lover. I still live my life just fine. But there are moments when I feel weak, when I just wish someone could hold me and say, it's okay. Everything will be alright. Life can be chaotic. Sometimes, I wished it would be kinder to me. But ever since this person appeared, I don't need to wish anymore. Someone, like the warm sun, stepped into my life. They made me see myself as someone wonderful. And they love me in a way that feels wonderful, too. There are times when I'm not happy with myself, but knowing that someone out there thinks I'm amazing, and loves me in their own way, that's when I truly feel the magic of love. I used to think I wasn't cut out for romance. I'm childish, difficult, guarded, and skeptical about love. But then, love came, unexpected, without explanation, without trying to prove me right or wrong. Love just is. Day by day, the sincerity of it changed me. Before falling in love, I had a list of standards: family background, education, looks, interests. But when love arrived, all those standards became meaningless. Love cannot be measured. It simply exists. I think many girls are like me. When we're single, we have expectations about our future partner. But once in a relationship, that person might not match our ideal. Of course, it can be disappointing. There are fights, reconciliations, discussions, and then more fights. But after everything, I've learned one thing. Love isn't about finding the perfect person. It's about learning to see the beauty in someone imperfect. They might not be perfect. They might not love me exactly how I want to be loved. But as long as they love me in the best way they can, that's enough. To me, love is magical. It can bring happiness, pain, resentment, gratitude, joy, sorrow, every emotion wrapped into one. I read a bit about Buddhism, and it says love is suffering in disguise. Love can make people better, enrich their souls, but too much attachment can also lead to suffering. That's why Buddhism teaches the Eightfold Path, to help lessen suffering and attachment. But honestly, I think love is something so vast and abstract that it's hard to define. And for someone as young and inexperienced as me, I can't fully understand it yet. That's why I turn to philosophy and psychology to grasp it better. One of the oldest concepts of love suggests that love makes us whole. It's the longing to find a soulmate, the missing piece of ourselves. Psychologist Carl Jung had this theory called collective unconscious, a deep part of our psyche inherited through generations, untouched by personal experience. It shows up in fairy tales, stories passed down for centuries. And if you look at them, the theme is always the same: humans searching for their missing half. Like the ancient myth where humans were originally born with 2 heads, 4 arms, and 4 legs. But the gods split them apart, so they spent their whole lives searching for their other half. Or how Eve was made from Adam's rib. Or in fairy tales, where a princess cursed into eternal sleep needs a prince to wake her. Across myths, legends, and even modern songs. The second perspective on love. This perspective comes from a philosopher, seemingly British, who even won a Nobel Prize. He believed that love is just a way to escape loneliness, merely a construct created by desire. Love, in his view, is an illusion designed to trick humans into reproduction and ensuring the survival of the next generation. Humans consider themselves the dominant species, ruling over all others on this planet. Because of this, they believe they must be more special than other animals. If relationships were purely driven by desire, without the concept of love, wouldn't that be too cold and ruthless? That's why love is a deceptive construct, an illusion making people believe that desire must always be accompanied by love, and that without love, desire won't be truly satisfying. In the end, this perspective suggests that love exists only to serve the purpose of fulfilling desires and maintaining future generations. The third perspective on love. This one comes from a philosopher named Beauvoir, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, a French thinker. She believed that love is what makes a person more complete and enriches their life. I really like her approach because she doesn't get caught up in defining what love is or why we love. Instead, she focuses on how to build a healthier, stronger romantic relationship. That's a deep topic, and I'll save it for part 2. For now, let's talk about some other thoughts on love. Honestly, all this philosophy talk is a bit overwhelming. But at the end of the day, people just love, right? How can we live without love? There's a beautiful quote, "We must love because our hearts still beat." No matter what love truly is, people will always love, and we will always need to be loved. That's why I think trying to define love isn't the most important thing. The stages of love. Recently, I watched a TED Talk explaining the different stages of love, and it completely blew my mind. So today, I have to share it with you all. Love can be broken down into different stages. The first is the passionate love stage. This is when we're obsessed with our partner, we daydream about them constantly and just want to be with them all the time. During this stage, our brains release a ton of chemicals, making us feel euphoric. It's like the high you get from eating something sweet, quenching your thirst, or even playing an addictive game, pure excitement. The brain floods us with dopamine, the same hormone that makes us feel accomplished when we achieve something big. That's why, in this early stage of love, we feel invincible, like we're on top of the world. This is often called the honeymoon phase, where everything about our partner seems perfect. Even their flaws seem endearing. Scientists have found that when people are newly in love, the brain's critical thinking areas are suppressed, so we literally can't see the other person's flaws clearly. But unfortunately, this phase only lasts for a few months. The second stage, deep connection. After the honeymoon phase, love transitions into a more stable, deep bonding stage. This is where different hormones, like oxytocin, kick in, helping us feel secure and emotionally attached to our partner. Oxytocin is often called the love hormone because it's released when we cuddle or hold someone close. That's why hugs feel so comforting. I once read that hugs were invented so we could physically express love without needing words. There's something special about feeling someone's warmth when they hold you, it makes you feel accepted, flaws and all. In this second stage, love isn't as fiery or overwhelming as in the beginning, but it's steady and comforting. Sometimes, just sitting in silence together, reading a book, is enough. However, this is also when we start noticing each other's flaws. This is where many couples break up. That's why people often say, we're just not compatible anymore. But scientifically speaking, this isn't an excuse, it's real. In the early, passion-driven phase, our brain chemistry prevents us from seeing our partner's imperfections clearly. Once the chemicals settle, we start recognizing their flaws, which can lead to conflicts. If a couple can't work through these differences, they eventually part ways. Final thoughts on love. I've shared a lot today, but here's what I believe, love can bring us happiness, but it can also bring pain. Yet no matter what, I know I'll keep falling in love. Like the quote says, we must love because our hearts still beat. So, have faith in love. Believe that one day, you'll find the right person, the one who loves you just as much as you love them. And together, you'll learn how to love in a way that lasts. One last thing, you are loved. Maybe someone kisses you every time they see you, that's love. But even if no one does, love is still all around you. When your mom cooks you a warm meal, that's love. When your best friend writes you an excuse note for class, that's love. When your dog wags its tail excitedly when you come home, that's love. You are loved, always. But honestly, love is such a vast and complex topic that one video could never be enough. There's still so much more to explore: how to build a lasting relationship, how love changes over time, and even how to heal from love when it doesn't go as planned. So, I'll be continuing this conversation in part 2, where we'll dive even deeper into what makes love work and how we can navigate it in a way that brings us true happiness. But before I go, I just want to remind you, you are loved. Even on the days when you feel alone, even when love doesn't look the way you expect it to, it's always there in the small moments, in the people who care about you, in the ways the world embraces you when you least expect it. So, let's keep believing in love. Keep an open heart. And I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care, stay kind, and most importantly, keep loving. Red Heart.